for your 360. We'll talk about which story swept us off our gaming couches.
And what game kicked ass this holiday season? Well, you're about to find out.
And what was the worst use of your cash in '05? Well, we're going to tell you because G4TV.com, the show that lasted 169 episodes, ends now.
Way to bring us out on a Debbie Downer, Tina.
Well, I'm just letting the audience know that we did 169 episodes.
It is, everybody. Welcome to the final episode of G4TV.com. It's been a big year for everyone, a big year for us, big year for me personally.
Oh, yeah, big because you gained a few pounds.
I'm big. Anyway, we thought we'd take this time to look back at some of the biggest events of the year. So we took a poll online. You guys ran in and voted and clicked your little things and decided what were the most important moments in gaming in 2005.
Well,
Tina.
At number 5, originally it was you gaining the weight.
Yes, and your pregnancy.
But we made sure that it was all gaming news. So actually the delay of Zelda. Now you guys felt like that was number 5. This was a huge deal because as you'll notice right now, you know, we're around the holiday season and there's not that AAA software title that people can go purchase. And I think Nintendo probably, I mean, when the game is delayed, it's obviously not ready, but really missed a big financial boat.
They did.
Right here, because everyone's looking for that next title. Obviously, you've got the 360 and stuff, but Zelda being delayed was also, you know, a little disappointing to Zelda fans.
A lot of fanboys. People want their Link, but you got to believe that it's going to be a better game because they're not putting it out now. They, you know, they're missing all that income that could be coming in for the Christmas dollars to make it a better game.
Well, yeah, you always hope the game's going to be better.
What's kind of weird about it, though, is that they waited so long to announce it was delayed. It wasn't just like it was delayed a month. I mean, it's like, you know, now they're saying it'll come, I think the earliest it'll come is April, and then there are rumors that it won't be ready till the fall, and people are like, why did they even put that on the GameCube? Shouldn't they put that on the Revolution?
Right, that's what I'm thinking. You know, and you never know what Nintendo's up to, and that could be, although it's probably not what's happening.
Well, the thing is, Revolution is backwards compatible, so it's like even if you buy a Revolution, you'll still be able to put the GameCube disc for Zelda in there. So that might be part of the play. And you know, the talk is like we talked about last week with Matt from IGN. Revolution might be quite cheap. So if it's like $149 for the console,
so maybe it'll be a launch title. That's going to happen with the Revolution. You know, give them a call.
Swinging your sword.
What's number 4, Jeff? Where are we at for?
Well, number 4, you guys think the number 4 story is the Killzone video from E3. Subject of much debate this year. Is this real PlayStation 3 gameplay footage? Or is it a bunch of CG made at a Scottish...
And what's the answer? We don't know.
It's still kind of unclear. I mean, you know, Sony obviously wants to say this is a, you know, sort of a target video of what it's going to look like. And then I don't think anyone's ever gotten to the bottom of what happened. There was a Scottish computer graphics house that sort of claimed for a while that they had done it. And they said this was potentially the game models that were created, but it wasn't rendered in real time. It was sort of like sped up.
All right, let's put our money on it right now. Who thinks this is real gameplay?
I think it's real.
Come on.
I think it's real.
Do you think it's real?
I don't have any money, though.
I don't think it's running in real time. I think it is what they expect the final game to look like. Because I think, you know, Sony wouldn't have put that out there if the game is going to come out and it's going to look, you know, half the quality of that. So that's a target. It'll be releasing, you know, at E3 this year. Hopefully when we get to actually play Killzone.
Yeah, I know.
Will it look like that? Will it play like that? That's, you know, that's a big story for 06 for me.
It looks unbelievable. If that's what the PS3 technology looks like, then I say bring it on and let's play. Because it looks amazing.
And of course, you know, Microsoft kept saying, you know, how dare Sony put out these videos when, you know, we're shipping the 360 this year. This stuff doesn't look as good, but they're like, you can actually play these games.
That's when Sony can go, okay, how dare you release Halo 2 on the launch date of the PS3.
Halo 3.
I mean, Halo 3, yes.
Exactly.
Sorry, it's been a crazy year.
That's right.
Anyway, coming in at third,
exactly.
Sex, lots of sex, the hot coffee scandal.
Only on our boards does sex come in third.
Yeah, like, what's wrong with you people? This should be number 1, you know? The hot coffee scandal in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Obviously, there it is.
Very
Look,
controversial.
There's so much blood and violence and guts in video games. The 2 people just making love in their house.
Who cares?
Get over it.
Put over it. You can be 11 and watch that stuff. I don't know. Let's go with number 2. Let's go to the second biggest story that I thought would certainly be the number 1 item was the release of the 360. Interesting that this wasn't number 1.
There's Dan from Seattle. This is the guy that got the first one.
That's the guy that got the
Bill Gates.
That's Dan.
You know, the reason why obviously this is huge is it marked the launch of the next-gen console war. So this is sort of the beginning of the next-gen war, and I think obviously everything's been about 360 this holiday season.
Right.
You know, there hasn't been a lot happening on the GameCube and on the PS2. So.
But I think, you know, people can't buy 360s. I can't tell you how many people come up to me and say they're so frustrated they can't, you know, find the 360 they want to buy. And I think it's kind of unfortunate because there's so many great games on PlayStation 2 and even the original Xbox this holiday season. I think some people are like, they don't want to buy games because they can't get a 360. what I tell people at home is like keep buying games for the current system because they're still great.
Right.
Yeah.
And get
Just
a 360
like our
next
show
year.
last week, there's plenty of love if you can't get the 360.
Yeah, no, I was playing the demo of this game called Black that's coming out in February from EA.
Real good.
Amazing game, but it's an Xbox One game, and I put it in my 360. I was hoping it would be backwards compatible.
Right.
Doesn't work, but it's like so you have to drag out the old Xbox.
You had to throw in that I put it in my 360.
Yeah, exactly. For all of you guys that couldn't get one.
Even Microsoft execs can't get a 360, but Geoff
What is
Keighley
number one?
can get a 360.
Exactly. Well, what is the number one story? Well, the number one story with a whopping 49% of your votes, the Nintendo Revolution controller.
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Wow.
Well, I think it's interesting that I think people are so excited about this because they don't know a lot about it. No one's played with it yet. It's innovative, and I think, so many of the games, we see so many sequels, so many third-person action games, movie tie-ins. Like when someone does something new and fresh, I think we get excited about it.
Remember when it first came out and we actually, made fun of it on this show? We were like, what is that
With Sean Baby, right?
Control. Oh, you weren't here that way.
Oh, sorry, Jeff. That was a great show.
We made fun of it. It was awesome.
That was one of the best shows we ever had.
That day.
But go ahead.
Yeah, we were making fun of her. Like, what is this weird controller 3D virtual space thing? That's stupid. But now, more thought into it, I want to play it.
I think people are intrigued by it. We'll have to see next year, what are the games that are come out for it? What's it going to cost? Is it,
How are you going to play? I mean, it's going to change the way that we play video games, which is what I'm so looking forward to because Nintendo does a great job at that. Nintendo's going, all right, PS3
Anybody can do it.
and
Nintendo
Xbox. You guys take your HD and you take your next-gen technology and let's just, we'll think innovation and we'll think video games, we'll think fun. So,
what are you even saying?
I don't know. I lost my own thought.
All right, stick around because after the break, we're going to give you our pick for best games of the year, which obviously are the best games of the year because we know.
I think I put Jack Daniels in here and it's starting to kick in a little bit.
You know anything.
Happy holidays.
Lots of things that the G4 audience would be surprised to learn about me, but I'm not going to tell you all of them. I will say that most people don't know I have a black belt in karate, which I don't know if that expires after a few years, but I had one at one time, and yeah. Whoa!
Hey!
Hey everybody, welcome back to G4TV.com. We are wrapping up the year and the show by talking up the best and worst games of the year.
Yep.
So we're going to move on to talk about some of our favorite games. We covered a lot of games this year in all our episodes.
Good ones, bad ones.
So we're going to go genre by genre through some of our favorite games.
Well, wait, let's start us off. What do we do? Third-person action?
Third-person action works with me. God of War, my favorite third-person action game of the year. Highly competitive category, but I think what David Jaffe did in this game is fantastic. The playability of it, the controls, I mean, so tight.
Is it because you can see breasts in this game, Jeff?
Maybe.
That's why I like it.
Sex minigame works, but it's
fantastic game. I mean, it doesn't. It's hard to really beat God of War. And not only probably one of the best games of the year, but in the last 5 years.
And for a PS2 game, looks amazing.
Yeah.
Graphically,
I would say it's a little more next gen than even stuff we've seen on 360.
Yeah. God of War is fantastic. Well, I almost chose God of War, but I really had to give it to a franchise that I wasn't a big fan of. But this game, Resident Evil 4, converted me into a real Resident Evil fan.
Fine choice.
You're just buying into the hype.
So it's better than God of War in your mind?
You know what? It was very, very close, but because it converted me into a whole franchise I didn't like, I just thought this game, and the replayability, you can go through it 3 or 4 times, and it's just so fantastic, and I gave it to Resident Evil 4.
So this game, I loved on
GameCube. The Spike Awards liked it.
They did. They loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great game. Now and the fact also that it came out on PS2, I thought it was going to do better on PS2. It came out in November. I thought it was going to be like a top 10 game. It wasn't, which I was sort of surprised by because it's like
that's
it's
true.
a great game.
I don't know why everybody at PS2 fans missed the boat on that, but it played so great on the GameCube.
Guys, I went ahead and I picked something a little off the wall, a little different, a little creative, shall we say? Killer 7.
How do you choose that
Killer
as the best?
7 is a great
Better
game.
than
I had
God
a
of
really
War.
great
Better
time
than God
with
of War. David Jaffe just burn you in
There
hell.
are men hanging from nooses with Mexican sexual masks on their face.
It's so frustrating, this game at times.
Frustrating if you're not good at it, Tina.
No, it's good if you were on acid.
Lost a little respect for you.
That's why I liked it. No, it was great. It was innovative. It was new. It was different. And like I said, I found it hysterical.
Send your letters to Laura if you buy that.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Send me. Let's move on to
first-person shooters. I chose Fear.
Yeah.
I don't know what you guys thought about Fear, but I thought Fear was a real fantastic game, a great shooter. I had a great time with it. Loved the creepy dead girl.
You can't beat the multiplayer.
No, the multiplayer was good, and I think you actually chose Fear as well.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, this year there weren't a lot of amazing first-person shooters. The other one I loved was Call of Duty 2, but this one I think, on the PC, I grew up playing PC first-person shooters.
Me too.
This year there were, and there were so few games this year. And I think this one was, was innovative. It was fun. It had a good storyline.
Yeah, it was cool.
After disappointments of like Quake 4 and stuff, which I wasn't really into. I mean, this was, I think, the best FPS, and we'll see. I mean, next year I think is going to be an amazing year when you've got, hopefully some stuff coming out on the console.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike there, Geoff Keighley.
I agree. If you're looking for, really good graphics and, quality gameplay and replayability and all that.
Quality gameplay, that's just a minor thing, Laura.
If you want that in your gaming experience, that's cool.
What do you want?
I went with Dark Watch.
What?
Yes, I did. Because...
The contrarian on this show.
What is wrong with you? So many things, Tina.
I know this guy.
Just Dark Watch because it was so bad and made such little sense that you had to just laugh at it. And if you play it co-op, if you go... First of all, I enjoy most games. I prefer playing with other people rather than playing with myself.
What? I have a feeling you don't even know why you chose Dark Watch.
I enjoyed Dark Watch very much. It was good times. Play co-op. It's good. It's fun. It's easy. It's casual. All right, let's move on.
I'm afraid you're going to say the best game was Blitz if we come into the sports category. Sports category.
The best game of the year was obviously Star Fox.
Oh, don't get us started on Star Fox.
The next category is sports, Tina.
Yeah.
There are other games out there besides Madden.
Well, Madden, I almost chose Madden, and then, Geoff, we're going to get it for a little while now, and Jeff's always Burnout, and I started playing the hell out of Burnout, and I picked Burnout.
So you picked Fear together, Burnout together?
Yeah, we have this thing.
Just get a room.
Now, I mean, Burnout is not really a sport. It's sort of sports/driving, I think, is this category.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, Burnout's not a real sport.
Well, you tell all those racing fans that...
Well, obviously, it's kind of a hyper-realistic one with the
like
size of the
golf's not a
crashes
real
and stuff
sport
like that.
either.
I mean, it's not a sim game like Project Gotham or something.
Yeah.
But this game is, I mean... everyone knows I'm a huge fan of what Criterion these guys have done with this game, and it's just, it's fantastic, and I love sort of the graphics and the feel of it. Even the Burnout PSP was fun, and then we talked about Black earlier in the show, which is an amazing game that these guys are doing next year. But they just have a great sense of, that visceral kind of speed. You hold the controller, it just draws you in.
It's really fun. Shockingly, I disagreed with you guys.
Oh, okay. What did you think?
I like to fight. I like to beat up people and hit them really hard and stuff. So I went with Fight Night round 2.
That's a fair choice.
It's a great game.
This is good time.
It's a great game. Fight Night is a great game.
I like that none of us, the obvious choice, as you said, is Madden. That's not a good game. But no, Fight Night, this is a fun game. And the new Fight Night round 3 that's coming on Xbox 360 I think March or April.
Really, really good. Yeah, Fight Night's the best fighting game to this day.
Yeah,
absolutely.
very innovative the way you have to move the analog sticks.
Well, let's talk about some innovation now in the handheld genre. Big year this year with, DS, PSP. My pick for the favorite handheld, there are a lot of good games this year, but my pick was Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories, which I was just stunned by what they were able to do technically on the PSP in terms of bringing the Grand Theft Auto experience, which, I never played through San Andreas or any of those other games.
You just got to the hot coffee mod and then that was it.
I was done, exactly. But this one I thought was really interesting that, they could get technologically, they could put that on a PSP. But, there were a lot of other good games. I'm sure you guys probably picked some, DS games?
I chose, we did some DS games like it's a throwaway. DS is awesome, man. I picked Nintendogs.
Okay.
I thought it was really innovative. I had a great time.
How much did BMO give you for that?
About, $5,000.
There's nothing more fun than, washing your dog and picking up its poop. I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah, well, I'm really curious to see what you actually chose there, Miss, who's been filled with great games so far.
I, shockingly enough, disagree with both of you. And I went out and I picked Mario Kart on the DS.
That makes sense.
That is good.
After 186 episodes, finally making sense.
And I picked a good game. Everyone in the offices meets at 6. We all play Mario Kart on the DS. I lose. It's good times.
Interesting. I'm working past 6. But what?
All right, let's move on. Our final category is all about that thing you do when you're alone at home.
Laura.
Makes you feel good.
How did you know?
Tina. That thing, the other thing, the guilty pleasure thing, the video game thing.
What did you pick as your guilty pleasure?
I picked the iToy. I love to get me up and do some dancing.
What about some exercise? Kinetic?
Stop with the gaining weight and the exercise jokes. I'm over it.
It's the holiday season.
Both of you, seriously, I just wear a sweater.
Keep it in mind.
It's fine. Look, you make the fries. There's our intern Andrew. He's shaking. He's twisting.
Oh, there's Steve.
It's good times on the iToy.
No, that was good. Well, what'd
you pick? What's your guilty pleasure?
Of course, I picked Guitar Hero because I love that game more than anything, man.
You've got to pick something cool.
I love Guitar Hero. I just think it's something, and I don't even think it's really a guilty pleasure because I think everybody should be playing this game.
So you're second guessing your own selection?
No, not at all. I just think it could be in multiple categories. I am so above you, and I just realized that.
We're Twisted for the Game Boy Advance. Tons of fun. Love to twist. So wherever touch overrated, but wherever Twisted.
But how did you know that Jeff would rather twist than touch?
Yes.
This is how I am, right? Don't judge me.
Great game. Great games.
All right, guys, well, that's it for our best of category, but coming up after the break, we're looking at some of the most disappointing and downright awful games of the year. That's next, right here on G4TV.com.
We bring you the suck.
Yes.
If it's sucky, we'll tell you. Okay.
You're plugged into G4 Rewind. Up next, X-Play.
My favorite G4 host, hands down, Morgan's Webb. Come on, she's every nerd's dream. A classy lady who can whip your tail in Call of Duty while still maintaining the most beautiful composure for television. Morgan, I love you.
About another 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. And now it's time to do one of our favorite things. Talk trash about things we hate. Yay! All right, let's take some time to honor games that totally suck.
Disappointing, not worth their $50.
Yeah, I shouldn't say totally suck. Now here was 50 Cent Bulletproof, and like you said, great soundtrack, but just the gameplay wasn't that spectacular.
No,
I was actually
couldn't target the enemies.
And I was rooting for 50 Cent.
Yeah, then we had 187 Ride or Die from Ubisoft. This was a sort of like Burnout with, Lorenz Tate in it and stuff like that. No, I mean, it had weapons in it, Burnout with weapons, but I was not impressed.
Here we got Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, There's such good
Doesn't that look
here.
so exciting?
You
a guy
think
walking
that
around.
you'd make a good game. The movie, disappointing. The game, equally disappointing.
Kids
Sorry about that, guys. Next up, Tina?
Yeah,
Driver 3.
Yes, Driver 3. Now, this was just for the PC. The console version came out in 2004. Just fine. I wouldn't say it totally sucked, but it didn't blow me away.
Then there's Fantastic Four, the game, which was very disappointing. I mean, graphically it wasn't good. You're supposed to play all 4 characters, but I did not enjoy it. It did not work.
Next up is Gauntlet Legends?
Gauntlet 7 Sorrows,
Gauntlet
actually.
7
It's a new
Sorrows.
one from Midway, which is, a remake of the arcade classic.
Yeah, that just came out, but it just, again.
Very basic gameplay was
Don't
not
buy
impressed.
it.
Now, you talk about NARC. We talked about this game a little bit. Sort of the idea of you get to take these drugs.
The idea's good.
The idea was good. It just wasn't great in the execution.
Not so much.
I wouldn't say it totally sucked, but not so great.
Okay, and then there was Smart Bomb, a PSP game on this list. There haven't been a lot of great PSP games. There have been a few. It was a puzzle game. I mean, it just was not particularly impressive.
Not Tetris. And this, I don't even know how this got on the list.
Because it stinks.
Because this is a great game. Star Fox. Star Fox Assault.
Finally admit to us that Star Fox does.
I had a good time with it. You guys are so hard. You're jaded. You're bitter. Did someone hurt you when you were little? Anyway, now that we put all that bad stuff behind us, it's time to look forward, look to the future, into all that there is to be excited about in 2006. Let's take a look at our very last
Games of the Future.
Jeff, why don't you take us in on this?
All right, big exciting year 2006, next gen. We're starting off with Crackdown for the Xbox 360 from David Jones, the creator of Grand Theft Auto. Then we're moving right on to Two Human from Silicon Knights, the guys who created Eternal Darkness. That's coming to the Xbox 360. Black, I mentioned this earlier in the show, from Criterion, the creators of Burnout, coming February 28th to current gen, Xbox and PS2. Then we've got Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which is supposed to be an Xbox 360 launch title, coming next year. We've got The Outfit from THQ and Relic for Xbox 360 and PC. Gears of War, Cliffy D's game, most anticipated Xbox 360 game. Third-person action game coming on Emergence Day.
This looks great.
We've got Mass Effect from BioWare, which is coming out for the Xbox 360 using the Unreal Engine, a great RPG. Then Prey from Human Head and 3D Realms for Xbox 360 and PC using the Doom engine. Then Metal Gear Solid 4 from Hideo Kojima, PlayStation 3 game. Stunned us in Tokyo, and that's coming out for PS3, we hope, sometime close to launch. And then Killzone.
Yeah.
Is this going to look like this when it comes out for PlayStation 3? We hope at E3.
I say yes.
The big debate.
I say yes.
As you know, this is our final episode of G4TV.com. We have had a great 4 years. We want to thank all of our friends, our family, and both of our fans that have made this possible. Special thanks to our producer, Ken, who's always said he'd take a pie in the face, but never actually did.
Not even once.
And one of our fans, Jonathan Mann, wrote a song to bid us a final farewell, and we'd like to share it with you as we take a glance back at
all
some
the great
years.
moments from
All the
4
great
years
moments.
of G4TV.com.
Let's go ahead and
At least 3.
take
Let's
a look and talk over each other.